Okay. All right. So this is what we call a first appearance calendar. I'm not here to take your case. I'm not here to try your case or to dispute the facts of your case. So right now, there are only allegations. You're innocent until you're proven guilty by the state. So I'm going to let you know what your charges are, whether you have bail on your case, what your bond amounts will be, if you have one, and the preliminary hearing dates for your court case. If you were charged with so listen up really closely to this part. If you're charged with a misdemeanor only, if you decide you want to keep your preliminary hearing, your court date is going to be May the 25th. If you're charged with a felony, your court date is going to be May the 24th. So what that means is the preliminary hearing is an opportunity for you to have the state to prove that it's probable that you committed the crime that you are accused of committing. So if you are unable to make your bond and you want the state to prove that it's probable that you committed the crime, that's the next time you're going to see a judge and be in court. Misdemeanors, May the 25th. Felonies, May the 24th. So you can say, you know what, I want to waive my right to a preliminary hearing because I want to get out of, see if I can resolve my case quicker and move on and not wait for a preliminary hearing date to the end of May. If you decide you want to waive your preliminary hearing and you know you're unable to make your bond, or if you don't make a bond, you will have a court date within 7 to 10 days of today's date, which means you won't have to stay in jail if you can't make your bond to the end of May. So waiver gets you in court faster if you decide or if you're unable to make your bond. If you make your bond, you will not have a preliminary hearing date. They will send you notice in the mail when you're going to come back to court. So that's the decision that each and every one of you are going to have to make when I call you up individually. Most of you actually will have unrestricted bonds, which means you'll be able to post your bond either through a bonding company, in which they take 10 to 15% of your total bond amount. That's the money that they make for posting your bond, so you won't get that back. Or you can go and post a cash bond, which means you literally post the total amount of bond to the jail, and when your case is over, you get that back. Or you can use a property bond, in which you have to have at least 3 times the equity amount in that property in order to secure your release so that you will come back to court. Some of you will have special condition bonds that will prohibit you from contacting a certain person or going to a certain location. It's very important that you follow the order if you have restrictions that prohibit you from going to a certain place or contacting a certain person. Because if you violate the court's order and you return to a location that I ordered you not to go back to, or you have contact with a person who I've said not to have contact with, you can be charged with aggravated stalking, in which you will not be entitled to a bond, and you can be fined up to $20,000, and a 10-year sentence is the maximum for aggravated stalking. Please don't violate the court's order as a condition of your bond. The paperwork is literally here. So your family members or friends or whoever's going to bond you out will be able to bond you out later today once the paperwork is submitted to the back to the jail once we finish court. If you're on active probation or parole, you will not be entitled to a bond, and you'll be able to get one at a later date. So with all that being said, we're going to start with the women, and then we'll go to the men. The first person up will be Miss Gadd.
Thanks, Jeremy.
All right, Miss Gadd, you've been charged with carrying a weapon in an unauthorized location.
It was.
Airport. Would you like to waive, or did you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'd like to have that court date.
Okay, so your court date would be May the 25th.
So, I mean,
Keep your mask on.
I didn't hear you. What'd you say?
I'd like to have the date to dispute
That court date is May the 24th.
Wait, what did you say the option was before then? I'm sorry, I was not prepared for this with.
No, so I was just saying you can either waive your case to state court or you can have your preliminary hearing. And if you decide to keep it, it's gonna make May the 24th. But
What
if you make your bond, you
I've
won't have this court date and you'll get notice when to come back to court.
already made the bond. It was made at 8 PM last night.
So then you won't have this court date. They'll send you notice when to come back to court.
Okay, thank
Did you
you.
need to, are you hiring your own attorney or did you need to be considered for court appointed counsel?
I have an attorney.
All right, well, thank you. Take care.
Thank
Have a
you.
seat. Hodges. Paul.
All right, Miss Graham.
Paul. Hodges.
Miss Graham, you've been charged with 2 counts of battery. Was that not Miss Graham?
No, sorry.
Oh, okay. All right. So you're you're Aisha Graham?
Yes.
Aisha Graham?
Instagram.
Okay. All right. So Miss Graham, you've been charged with 2 counts of battery. Your bond is $2,000 on each count. So your total bond is $4,000. You do have special conditions. You can't have contact with Sierra Mullins. You cannot return and go back to the FedEx location at 4400 International Parkway in Atlanta, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am.
Would you like to waive or do you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I would like to wait.
Okay. They'll send you notice when to come back to court. Are you going to hire your own attorney or did you need to be considered for a court appointed attorney?
I need to be considered for a court attorney.
Okay. Based on your application, I've approved you an attorney. Make sure you complete the waiver form before you go back to your cell and make sure it's legible so I can understand your handwriting, okay?
Okay, I have a question.
Miss,
What is my bond? You said my bond 2,000?
it's 4,000 total. You have 2 counts of battery.
So how much do I have to pay?
It'll be about 15%, so maybe like between $450 and $500 to get out. You're a bonding company.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
I can't talk about you. Paul, you should be next. Ms. Graham, step over here to sign.
All right, Ms. Hall, you'll be next. All right, Ms. Hall, you've been charged with reckless driving. Your bond is $1,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
Well, I already posted for bond.
Okay, so we'll keep it, and then what'll happen is once you bond out, they'll mail you notice when to come back to court. Okay.
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Would you? Yeah. How much do you earn a month? I think you just put the hourly wage on here.
Oh, a month.
Yeah. What's your average?
I make like 1,000 every 2 weeks. So.
Okay, I've approved you for a court-appointed attorney. You'll get notice when to come back to court.
Yes, ma'am.
All right, thank you.
Last one, come on.
That should be everybody, right?
Yeah, Hodges.
Hodges. Ms. Hodges, you have been charged with violation of the Georgia Controlled Substance Act. Your bond is $1,000. Possession of a weapon during the commission of a crime is $3,000. Would you like to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll pay the bond. That's where they mail the court date.
Okay, so the preliminary hearing date will be set for the 24th. If you make your bond, you won't have that court date. They'll send you notice when to come back to court, okay?
Thank you.
I see here on your application form, are you gonna hire your own attorney or did you need to be considered for a court appointed?
May hire my own. I'm not sure at the moment.
Can you, I'll assign one to you based on the information on this application. If you decide to hire one, then they'll just be relieved from representing you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Wait, how much did you say the bond is?
The total bond is $4,000.
Thank you.
That's it for the females, Your Honor.
All right, thank you.
We do have 2 that's gonna need an interpreter at the end.
Okay,
Spanish.
okay. All right, Mr. Birch.
Okay, come on, Mr. Burch, good to see you. Your first name right first. Hand down. Pronounce your name, whatever you want.
All right. All right, Mr. Birch, you've been charged. You Mr. Birch. Are you Mr. Birch?
Yes, ma'am.
All right, you can put your hand down, Mr. Birch. You've been charged with disorderly conduct. That bond is $1,500. Your criminal trespass is $5,000. Do not go back to the Walmart located in Riverdale at 7050 Highway 85. Do you understand that, Mr. Birch?
Yeah,
All right. Do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I want, wait, but
Okay.
I want safety. I want safety. Can I be taken outside of the outside of the grounds where the land is at, so I can just live a regular life. So like outside of, a land will be, Hidden Valley, her apartment, because I'm a homeless man that found
Okay, I understand.
my apartment located, so I was in there buying food stamps.
Mr. Birch, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. Your preliminary hearing date is going to be on the 25th, okay? All right, thank you, sir.
What month is this?
You said what?
What month is this?
I didn't hear you.
What month is this?
This month is April 17th.
April?
Yeah, the lawyer comes to you this week.
Uh,
All right.
Good to see you.
Because I wanna live with
Jerry
my
Good.
girlfriend. I wanna live with my girlfriend. The girl just had this.
Mr. Goodlet, you've been charged with theft by taking. Your bond is $2,000. Did you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
Ma'am, I just want to plead guilty to it.
You remember what I said at the beginning? That the only thing I'm doing is telling you your charges and your bond amount. That's all we do today.
Okay.
So you want to keep your hearing or you want to waive your case over?
Let's just waive it over.
Okay, so fill out the waiver form, make sure I can understand your handwriting. And based on your application, I'm gonna appoint an attorney to represent you, okay? All right, thank you, sir. Are you Mr. Grover?
Yes, ma'am.
Oh, no, I didn't want to waive it.
Mr. Grover, you've been charged with tenant window violation. That bond is 500. No driver's license is 1,000. Violation of drug control substance act is 1,000. So your total bond is $2,500. Do you want to keep your preliminary hearing or would you like to waive it?
I'm gonna make bond.
Okay, so you want to waive it or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I wait.
Okay. Complete the waiver form. Make sure I can understand your handwriting so I know it's yours, okay?
Yes, ma'am.
Based on your application here, I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
All right.
All right, thank you.
All right, thank you.
Yes, ma'am. This is Jerry Gillett again. I misunderstood. I would like to make bond today.
Yeah, you have a bond set, you can make it.
Thank you, sweetheart.
Mr. January, Mr. January, you've been charged with driving with no license. Your bond is 1,000. Concealing the use of a tag is 500. No insurance is 1,000, and defective headlights is 500. So your total bond is $3,000. Do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll keep it, ma'am.
All right, so your preliminary hearing date is May the 25th. Based on your application here, you actually make too much money for me to appoint an attorney to represent you.
I'll say that.
You said what?
No, I'm going pro se.
Okay, all right. So If you make the bond, you don't have this court date, they'll send you notice when to come back to court.
Thank you, ma'am.
All right, you're welcome.
Well, but I want my paperwork for you. I want all over.
Yes, sir.
Are you, Mr. Martinez?
Bro, I'm Mr. Morris.
Morris? Okay, hold on.
Your Honor, that's gonna be Mr. Martinez and Mendez. They're gonna be two that need training.
Okay,
Sorry about that.
no problem.
Can you
All
see?
right,
Mhm.
okay, I got you. Mr. Morris, you've been charged with 2 fast break conditions. That bond is 500. Failure to yield at a stop sign is 500. Improper lane change is 500. Hit and run is 4,000. And you have 2 counts of crossing the guard line with drugs is 1,000 on each count. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is 1,500. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act is 1,000. So your total bond is $9,000. Do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'm gonna keep on.
Okay. It's going to be for May the 24th. And based on this application, I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
So 9,000, I need to a bonding company, right?
Yeah, so 9,000 through a bonding company is probably gonna be between $950 and $1,000.
All right.
Okay, all right, you're welcome.
Hello, good morning, miss.
One moment. All right, are you Mr. Nelson? Mr. Nelson, you've been charged with obstructing a law enforcement officer. Their bond is 1,500. Possession of marijuana less than 1 ounce is 1,500. So your total bond is $3,000. Do you want to waive or you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I wanna make bond.
Yeah, okay, so you want to keep the hearing?
I don't
We'll
know.
keep it. You can keep it if you can still make bond and keep it. So if you make the bond, they'll send you notice when to come back to court. All right. And based on this application, I've appointed an attorney to represent you. All right, thank you. Hey, Mr. Smith?
Yo, how are you, Your Honor? Yes, ma'am.
You, Mr. Smith?
Yes, ma'am. Yes, ma'am.
Okay. Mr. Smith, you've been charged with loitering. The bond is 1,000. You do have special conditions. You cannot return to the Texaco located at 6331 Terra Boulevard in Jonesboro, Georgia. Do you understand that?
Yes, ma'am, I do.
Do you want to waive or do you want to keep your preliminary hearing?
I'm keeping my preliminary and make bond.
Okay, yeah, you can do that. So your hearing date is gonna be May the 25th. And based on your application, I'm going to appoint an attorney to represent you, sir, okay?
Thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Hey, you got a copy of that there? You got a copy?
Yes, I do.
Let me get it in the phone.
Hey, Mr. Sullivan,
No, man, I have Dwayne Parks.
you said, what's your last name?
Hello, man.
That's gonna be the extradition, Your Honor.
Let's say the extradition for
That's very quick, sir.
after that. All right, so what's your name, sir?
I'm Sullivan.
Okay. All right, Mr. Sullivan, you've been charged with violation of the seatbelt law, that's $500 bond. Running a red light or stop sign is 500. Violation of Georgia Controlled Substance Act, Schedule 1 is $3,000. Possession or use of drug-related objects is 500. And I dismiss the cruelty to children charge for lack of probable cause. So your total bond is $4,500. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing?
I'll keep my preliminary.
Okay, so your preliminary hearing date is gonna be May the 24th. If you make your bond, you won't have to come to court on that date. They'll send you notice in the mail when to come to court. Based on your application, I have appointed an attorney to represent you.
Okay, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
My total bond is 4,000 what?
Your total bond, let's see, is $4,500. That's it, thank you. Hey, Mr. Wallace?
Yes, ma'am, how you doing?
All right, Mr. Wallace, you've been charged with criminal trespass for unlawful purpose. Bond is $3,000. Would you like to waive or keep your preliminary hearing date?
I didn't hear what the bond was, ma'am, I'm sorry.
You said you didn't hear what?
What you said the bond was, the door was slamming out.
The total is $3,000.
Okay. I just want to make sure I understand. So if I waive, I go to court in 7 days?
So if you don't make your bond and you're still here, if you waive, you'll be in court in 7 to 10 days. If you decide you want to keep your preliminary hearing, your next court date will be May the 25th if you don't make your bond.
Okay, so waiving the preliminary hearing, I go straight to like a trial in 7 to 10 days?
Well, not a trial, but you'll go to your, the judge that's gonna be assigned to your trial. You'll have a court date. If you, so are you intending to make your bond?
The confusion is I'm on non-reported probation, so I don't know if it.
Oh, I see. Okay. Yeah, then the fastest route for you to resolve this is by a waiver.
Okay, and that's all. So would I be able to bond out or not?
I set a bond, so it's up to if your probation officer places a hold on your case or not. So,
Okay, so will I
there's
know-
a bond on this case. So so I'm not prohibiting, these charges are not prohibiting you from bonding out. That's not to say that your probation officer won't place a probation hold.
Okay, so if I make the bond today, will they let me know today if I have a hold or not?
Yeah, they'll tell you, they'll let you know, because if you make the bond and you have a hold, they'll let you know.
Okay.
So what do you want to do? You want to keep the hearing date or you want to waive it?
I'll do the waiver, so I can.
Okay, so just complete the waiver form over there and make sure I can understand your hearing right, so I know it belongs to you, okay?
Okay, I will.
And I've appointed an attorney to represent you.
Thank you so much, man.
All right, you're welcome. Mr. Wilcox?
Yeah.
All right. Mr. Wilcox, you've been charged with 1 count of criminal trespass. The bond is 1,000, and a count of simple battery. The bond is 3,000. You do have special conditions. You cannot have any contact with Donetta Tatum. Do you understand that?
We stay together.
I understand that. So you can't have any contact with it until the bond is changed. So when you're released from custody, you need to let your lawyer talk to the prosecutor, the solicitor's office, so they can modify the bond. You can't have contact. Because right now, I don't know whether she wants to have contact with you or not. So I have to say no contact based on the allegation.
I talked to her, we was just arguing. That's the police officer just heard us arguing. I went to put her phone back. And
Yeah. So listen, so I'm not saying I don't believe you. What I'm saying is I don't have any different knowledge. So it has to be verified. So if Ms. Tatum calls the solicitor's office on Monday and says she won't have contact with you, they bring bonds down here all the time for us to change them.
yes, ma'am.
You can't contact with her until it's changed.
Yes, ma'am. I said that to say like, I'm not from down here, so she the only one I'm up here with. So I don't have nobody else.
Okay. You want to keep your preliminary hearing, or would you like to waive it?
I'm keeping my preliminary.
Okay, so the hearing date is gonna be on May the 25th. If you make your bond, then you don't have to come to court on that date. They'll send you notice when to come back. Based on your application, I've appointed an attorney to represent you, and that's who you need to contact so they can get this bond changed so that you all can have contact. Do you understand that?
I need to contact who?
I've appointed an attorney to represent you so that attorney can assist you in getting this bond changed so that if contact is what she wants, then they can change it so that you can have contact with her.
Okay, and how much was the bond?
The total bond is $4,000. So it's gonna take between $450 and $500 to get out of jail through a bonding company.
You know,
All right, thank you.
thank you.
That was the last one, Your Honor. Now the only two we have two left, the translations.
We should have that extradition, right?
Yeah, and the extradition as well. That's the last three.
Let's do the extradition and then we'll do the, all right, Mr. Price,
Yes, ma'am, good morning.
good morning. So you've been charged with being a fugitive from justice because you have a warrant out of, hold on, out of Dothan, Alabama for forgery. And for a forgery warrant from Dothan, Alabama.
I apologize. So I have a warrant out of Alabama for forgery.
You have a warrant for forgery in Dothan, Alabama.
Okay.
And so that's the only reason why you're here and why you're here in Clayton County.
Why I'm here in Clayton County is because of,
Because of the warrant, yeah, yeah. So basically, we're about to have an extradition hearing. So essentially, you'll have to tell me whether you want to waive your extradition or if you want to contest it. So it's a whole little spiel that I have to tell you. So just hang tight, okay? All right. So this is an extradition hearing. All of the rights that everyone else have, they also apply to you in your case. You don't have any criminal charges here in Clayton County. You are being charged with being a fugitive from the state of Alabama, where you're wanted for the offense of forgery. You can contest your extradition or you can waive your extradition and voluntarily return back to the state of Alabama. Let's see, if you decide to contest your extradition, you will be committed to the Clayton County Jail for an initial period of 30 days. During this time, a warrant will be prepared under the governor's signature for extradition to Alabama. The court may consider allowing you to post a bond, but the court is not required to do so. And at this time, your bond has been denied because you are a fugitive from justice. If you do not wish to voluntarily return to Alabama, you may file a petition, a writ of habeas corpus, to contest your extradition. The petition can only contest 4 things: whether the extradition documents are in order on their face, whether you are charged with the crime that actually exists in a demanding state, whether you are the person named in the request for extradition, and whether you are in fact a fugitive from justice. You cannot contest the issue of your guilt or innocence here in Georgia. You are entitled to have a lawyer assist you in deciding whether you want to waive or contest your extradition. You can waive your extradition process and voluntarily return to Alabama. The court cannot tell you when to expect that they should come for you. So are you in fact Dwayne Myron LeBron's Price?
Yes, ma'am.
All right. Do you already have an attorney representing you?
I had one for my probation hearing. That's why I was initially here before this one part.
Oh, okay.
I have not contacted him yet because I just found out last night about the one.
Oh,
But you said if I contest it, I have 30 days to sit here.
no, yeah. So the quickest way to move on from Clayton County regarding this fugitive from justice is if you decide to waive your formal extradition hearing.
Okay, I have one question. So if I waive it, how many days do they have to come get me or the process?
No, it could take up to 30 days to get them. So it's no hard time frame.
Okay, so after 30 days, don't come get me, then I come back to court or something?
Yeah, so if you waive your hearing, Alabama's down the road. So Alabama's gonna come pick you up on this warrant. If not, you're gonna sit here until you have a formal extradition hearing. And it can be up to at least 30 days for your initial hearing to occur.
I'll waive it. I'll waive it. But I have a question. If I have a bond in Alabama, can I post it and can I be released from here?
You say, can you do what? I didn't hear that.
I said, Your Honor, if I have a bond in Alabama, can I post that bond in Alabama while I'm here? Or do I have to?
Yeah, you would have to have, I guess, whoever is gonna help you in Alabama, because I don't know the ins and outs of Alabama and how it works over there.
Thank you, Your Honor. I'll sign.
All right, so just sign out. It's seven of the same exact form. So sign those, and then they'll give those back to us so that way you can move on from Clayton County.
All right, thank you.
All right, you're welcome.
Thank you.
All right, I'm gonna call the interpreter line now, and then I'll come back on when I get them on.
All right, Your Honor, thank you.
All right, thank you. Okay, deputies, I have the interpreter on the line.
Secretario, yo tengo al intérprete en la línea.
No, they're not ready yet. Hold on one second. They got to get them.
Yes, Your Honor. Thank you.
There we go. Come on, guys. Just stand in front of you right there. Here you go, right there. This is good. Get this. Okay. We're ready, Your Honor.
Okay. All right, Mr. Martinez and Mr. Mendez.
Yes.
All right.
Señor Martínez y señor Méndez,
Please raise your right hand.
Come on, guys. Come over here.
por favor, levanten su mano derecha.
All right. Do you swear or affirm that the information you tell the court is true and correct?
¿Ustedes juran o afirman que la información que van a dar ante el tribunal es verdadera y correcta?
Sí.
Yes.
All right. You can put your hands down.
Ya pueden bajar la mano.
Mr. Martinez and Mr. Mendez, you've both been charged with driving with no driver's license.
Señor Martínez y señor Méndez, a ambos se les ha hecho el cargo por manejar sin licencia.
Your bond, each of your bond is set at $1,000 each.
La fianza para cada uno es de $1,000.
You can make your bond by going through a bonding company,
Ustedes pueden pagar la fianza ya sea por medio de una agencia de fianza,
in which they take 10 to 15% of the total amount.
en donde les cobrarían del 10 al 15% de la cantidad completa.
Or you can post the cash bond, the total $1,000 directly to the jail.
O pueden pagar la fianza en efectivo, tendrían que pagar los $1,000 completos directamente en la cárcel.
At the end of the case, you would get that $1,000 back if you posted the cash minus some administrative fees.
Al final del caso, si ustedes pagaron los $1,000 en efectivo, a usted se les puede regresar esta cantidad menos algunas cuotas por parte del tribunal.
Or you can post the bond through a property bond.
O pueden pagar la fianza por medio de un abogado.
And that property would have to have 3 times the equity amount to secure your release.
Y ese abogado tendría que tener 3 veces esa cantidad para poder asegurar su fianza.
Based on your applications, I have appointed an attorney to represent you.
Basándome en su solicitud, yo ya asigné a un abogado para que los represente.
If you don't make your bond, your next court date will be May the 25th.
I'm sorry, you said May the 25th?
Yes,
25?
correct.
Thank you, Your Honor. Si ustedes no pagan la fianza, su próxima fecha ante el tribunal sería para el día 25 de mayo.
Ok, si lo pagamos ahorita, yo vengo de Alabama, si lo pago ahorita ya no tengo que regresar a la corte.
If I am able to pay the bond right now because I live in Alabama, do I need to come back to the court?
Yes, they'll send you a notice of when you come back to court in the mail.
Sí, a usted le está llegando un aviso por correo sobre cuándo es que se tiene que presentar ante el tribunal.
So make sure you give them the correct address at the jail before you leave.
Así que antes de irse, asegúrese que en la cárcel tengan su dirección correcta.
Ok.
Y yo soy de aquí, morro. Si lo pago ahorita, voy a ir a tribunal.
Hacerlo bien.
Si pago ahorita, voy a ir a tribunal. Yo aquí vivo en Plata.
Okay. Move over so she can hear him. You move so she can hear him. She can't hear us.
Acércate un poco más.
Muévase donde lo puedan escuchar, ella no lo puede escuchar.
Oh, si yo pago ahorita, voy a ir a tribunal. Que si pago ahorita, voy a ir a tribunal también. ¿Es necesario que vaya a tribunal?
Even if I pay today, I will have to go to the court.
Yes, because that's just your bond. That's not a fine. That's only a bond to secure your release that says that you're going to come back to court.
Sí, porque esa es solamente la fianza que se utilizaría para que usted se le pueda liberar. Todavía no se le ha asignado su multa.
Okay.
All right. Any other questions?
¿Tiene alguna otra pregunta?
No.
Okay. All right. Thank you.
No.
All right, thank you, interpreter.
Thank you. That's it, Your Honor.
All right, thank you,
Your Honor,
guys.
it was my pleasure. Thank you for choosing court services.
You can let you go.